Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode.
Hang on. I don't know why Discord does this like every freaking time I do this shit. There we go.
Episode, hang on, baby.
There we are.
Episode 258. Thank you everyone for coming out. We're missing a few people tonight, but we do have Nate actually here, like right at podcast start. You're not just gonna randomly roll in to the Stone Cold music.
No, not this week. That's what happens.
You gotta start up F-Zero. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I can hear. Yep. Okay. Go ahead.
Fuck you. I need to go get my sword.
It's a good game.
That sounded like Mario. That sounded like Mario. You were starting up.
No, it's when you start up the N64 online, it does that Mario sound.
That's right.
Yeah, well, we got some wild weather today, so got out of work
Same
early.
Well, I mean, not Sean. He just stayed inside. But yeah, go ahead.
No, I mean, I was because I got to clean out my car, and I was gonna do it today, and I was like, no, I'm not.
So you bought a real car, and then you also bought cars in Gran Turismo.
I bought a 76 Pinto because I'm a YouTuber and I make no money. I'm broke. I'm a crackhead. Whatever the internet says about me, 100% true.
Why didn't you buy a Gremlin?
Because the Pinto was cheaper. It was only like $500. It's my first car ever. But no, I did spend real world money in Gran Turismo 7, and I have zero regrets. Because I actually got paid from a sponsor and they sent it via PayPal, and I was like, well,
I thought you were about to say they sent it via like Gran Turismo.
No, that would have been fine with me. But no, so I have my PS5 is my PSN is linked to my PayPal account. So when I have money in there, it's just like I can just buy shit digitally. I really like Gran Turismo 7 though.
Hold on. You got paid, but you know what I'm about to say. Hold on. You got paid by a sponsor. It's linked to your PayPal, which is automatically linked to your PlayStation account, and you're fighting me over buying WWE 2K.
It's a storage issue. I'll have to delete something. I'm pretty sure I know what I'll be deleting.
Why can't you just buy more extra storage?
Say what you're going to delete. I know what you're about to say. I know what you're going to say.
It's a great game, but it's not for me. I would rather do the most brutal race in Gran Turismo 7 than fight the same boss thing over and over again. I like that difficulty. Like I could play Gran Turismo for hours and hours. Dude, I used to have like the Logitech. I've actually been looking at getting like a new Logitech wheel and like the seat and stuff and just putting it in front of my
wheels. When was the last time you had a wheel?
You should get that full Ferrari setup that has the force feedback and everything.
The Xbox 360, PS3, and PS2 days, dude, the wheels are so much nicer now. It's crazy.
It was PS3 because we used to run Gran Turismo on PS3 on that, and we put it on top of a stool and we put Velcro on it so that like the Velcro strip so that it wouldn't come off, and we just like going crazy and stuff.
They're so much nicer now. It's wild stuff how they are. The people are getting close to like almost having one of those like driving simulation like setups in their house where they have like the box around you and TVs everywhere.
The moving chair would be great.
Yeah.
I will say that the game does feel a bit more predatory than previous games because of things like the stupid expensive cars, and they're like limited drops of cars. Like, oh, you can only get this now. Oh, it's 2 million credits. Nobody has 2 million credits. And like, I've been looking up guides on like how to grind, the fastest grinding stuff. And like, I'll get there eventually, but I don't mind it in that regard because, it doesn't bother me that much, but I can see how it is very predatory.
Yeah. In like Gran Turismo, I just remember you would spend a lot of time with one car. Like even back in the day on like I guess PS3 as well. You would just spend a lot of time with one car, and when you did buy a new car, it was a big deal. But in this one, they give you cars, you just can't sell them.
Yeah, I noticed that too, because I won a car that I had already bought, and I was like, great, let me go and sell it. And I was like, where can I sell it?
So you can't sell a car, but then there's microtransactions that you use. That was not set up that way at all. That was not set up that way.
Well, it's funny. Every time you win and it shows your credits, there's a little button that says top off credits, and it takes you to like where you can buy more.
I bought the $10 pack, which I believe was 1 million credits, because I wanted to get a specific car, and then I wanted to have money to buy stuff. But I mean, like I said, I'm able to look past that because I think it's not necessary unless you want to collect every vehicle in the game or something like that. So yeah, it's not that bad for me.
Okay. What do you think about the visuals for it?
I saw Mr. Rich Review Tech was like, oh, this game looks like shit. And I'm like, I don't think so. I think it looks phenomenal. Like it's the thing of it is we're not going to see these huge generational leaps anymore. And racing games used to be like, why when systems would launch would you get a Ridge Racer game? Because racing games were the easiest way to showcase this new leap in visuals. Whereas, we're at the point of diminishing returns, so it's more about the smaller things, the lighting, the reflections, the weather effects, and the frame rate and stuff like that. And I think it knocks it out of the park in that.
Forza did kind of have that. When we went from the original Xbox to the 360, it was pretty big. And I'd say even going from 360 to the Xbox One, it was pretty sizable. So, I mean, when we see this new Forza Motorsport game that's apparently just Xbox Series, I'm expecting another decent enough jump. From a turn 10 is very good. Like, they know what they're doing. So
I mean, what more can you really do?
More reflections.
like maybe the people in the crowd, or
the thing with Gran
racing games. Can we please move on from boring racing games?
The thing that's really impressive about Gran Turismo, I will say this before we move on, is the interiors of the cars are extremely detailed. Like, it's crazy. So that part's actually pretty cool.
Because one of the what car did I say I bought? The Pinto. The Pinto I bought. There's a car that's very similar in the game, so I was able to like look around the interior because I bought it through Carvana because I wanted to try that out, and it was actually pretty easy. Surprisingly,
we're back into real life buying.
But no, we'll go back to the Gran Turismo. But yeah, I wanted to like look around the interior and stuff of the car. I was like, ooh, wish it was Wednesday.
All right, let me go over here. OJ, how'd the pre-show go?
Good.
That's
almost 400 viewers. Had a lot of interaction. It was a ton of fun. A lot of new people asking about everything. They're always asking me questions though, John, like, who's going to be on? What topics are we talking about? Put this person on. I'm like, I can't do all that, guys. I do not control all of that. I am just here to get you guys ready for the show by interacting and everything like that. So thank you guys for coming over. It was a great pre-show today. So it was
yes.
And it's good to be here tonight.
Yep, make sure you check out OJ Player Essence before the show because he's got a nice pre-show roll in there. Get everyone hyped up and ready. So
yeah, Jeff Grubb was there. Oh,
so. There we go. We got Jordan Fringe.
I found out his height exactly. Jeff Grubb.
Oh,
he's taller than all of us except for Nate.
That makes sense. Yeah. I believe it.
He's 6 foot exactly. So he'd be kind of an imposing man because of the hair. And then,
about?
Jeff Grubb.
Oh, he looks like a caveman. If you've ever watched the Pazuzu documentary, which is about this guy who lived in North Carolina and he had like a little cult and he would like kill people and bury them in his backyard and like sacrifice animals. But there's a journalist that they interview like the whole time that sort of is like almost like a narrator, like telling the overarching story. And he looks a lot like Jeff Grubb. Like if Jeff's hair was curlier and Jeff was like a little heavier and a little older, it would be him. I'll show you.
If he was like completely different, he looked just like Jeff Grubb.
I mean,
different hair color, different eye color, all of it.
Jordan Fringe, how are we doing?
Good. Glad to be here.
Good to have Jordan here. And then we got Evan.
Yep.
And we heard from Sean, of course, with his
Hello.
Pinto that he bought. Okay, very good. So we have a few things to go over tonight. It was a little, I guess it was kind of a quieter week for the three main companies. We had a lot of third-party announcements though, which is pretty cool with that state of play. So we'll be going over that. We did have some, I guess, just early indication that E3 is coming back somewhat. We'll talk about that. And there was a new code name found for an Xbox system that may or may not release, but there's also a lot of theories as to what it could be. So I figure we would have fun speculating with that too. If we got Discord question over there, we can start off with, and then we'll go into the state of play.
If you could create your own gaming holiday like March 10th or Mario Day, what would you celebrate?
Nothing.
Oh.
I think it's silly.
Joy is worthless in this world.
It is.
I mean, you want to, yeah, that makes sense because it's March 10th, Mario. I get that. I mean, you could celebrate the release of any major franchise. The first one, the problem is they released like differently in different regions. So like,
all about Mortal Monday for Mortal Kombat when that came to home consoles.
Oh yeah, Mortal Monday. Mortal Kombat is iconic.
I like it. I
and
like it.
there could be a new Mortal Kombat game coming, or Injustice, or something like that. Something from that NetherRealm studio. So yeah, I'd be down for that.
Yeah, apparently the word is Mortal Kombat 12 is coming. Is the word.
Because
So
11's dead. So
yeah.
well, not dead, but like it's no longer hype. You know.
Yeah.
Like, watching
yeah.
it, like it's gonna be at Evo this year though, so that's cool. But
I hope they chill out on the damn random characters. Like it's cool, but I don't really like it.
oh, you mean like
No.
the special guest
The
characters?
crossovers?
Yeah,
I mean, it's just kind of like it's like it's like Arnold, and it's like like they had
Arnold?
Rambo, Arnold.
Rambo. Like you don't have Stallone doing the voice. It's like those fucking things that they did in Call of Duty, where it was like, "Here's John McClane" without Bruce Willis's voice, and it's like,
Yeah,
wow, someone could look at me running around the map.
Call of Duty was
like,
weird though, because Call of Duty did like a Attack on Titan crossover, and like no one understood
They
what
just
that
wanted
was
money.
about. But I mean, it was interesting. It was different. I don't know.
it was Freddy Krueger too. I think Freddy Krueger was in there. But yeah, I think they should probably pull from other places. Like I think that Injustice crossovers were like there was like the Ninja Turtles in Injustice. So like
RoboCop, that was a cool one, right? RoboCop. That was fun.
yeah,
I like
it's all like
RoboCop.
movie stars. It's all like movie games and stuff like that, or movie tie-ins. But we'll see what they do for this next Mortal Kombat. You know, I do like watching it though. Mortal Kombat is really fun to watch. So.
All right, Evan, hit us with another one.
With the continuing success of Elden Ring, is it lightning in a bottle, or has the video game industry taking notice and or perhaps woken up to the nature of gaming people actually want? My main issue with that is if it's about sales and people picking it up is what they actually want, we would just be all playing cell phone games right now.
It's always the next one though. It's always like, how do you follow up? Like that's the question I had with Horizon, and it seemed like they did well, but it was still more Horizon. So I am curious, whatever they do next that's open world is just more Elden Ring, or they come up with something better. Or like, that's the other question I have with like Breath of the Wild, God of War, any of these. Can they do something to make themselves feel different than their first?
Too.
So
I'd like to see them just try something. I mean, because it's just that same engine. And I think I'm not a big fan of that engine personally. I want to see something different.
Well, I mean, it's going to take a while to make another Elden Ring. Open world stuff takes a long time. I feel like they'd probably do another.
It doesn't necessarily need to be like huge scale thing. Like just try something different and see how people react to it.
I could see them do another linear style game, like randomly we just get like another Sekiro or something like in that vein, where it's just different from what we just had with Elden Ring, but still kind of Souls formula. Let's go over to State of Play. This aired, it was on Wednesday, and a little over 20 minutes long. It's all third-party stuff, some first-party stuff, but the big announcements was definitely like relying on third parties like Square and Capcom, but not necessarily the games I think we were expecting to see there, even though we heard it was going to be out of like Japanese publishers, developers, their partners there. I mean, there were some in here that I would not have been able to guess beforehand. But let's start with the first one. It's from Capcom. It's Exo Primal.
Piss off.
Anthem Primal.
So first of all, it's coming to PS4, PS5, Xbox Series, Xbox One, and PC in 2023, which tells us that the PlayStation 4 is living into 2023. So Sean, you were right about that. It is going to 2023. And Exo Primal looks very generic, which is weird because there were a ton of dinosaurs falling out of the sky. So you feel like that's not a generic thing, but it looks like Anthem with dinosaurs.
I thought it looked like World War Z, but with dinosaurs, and none of the dinosaurs are differentiated.
It's a multiplayer like arena style game apparently.
Survival. It looks like
it's a multiplayer, cooperative, and also competitive. What you're gonna have is I think it's 5 or 4 on 4. To where you're going to be able to go into arenas and you do objectives, but then you also have like a little bit of a competitive edge too, because there's going to be other people that can stop you from doing your objectives, or you can stop them from doing their objectives. Then whoever has the most points or whatever at the end will win. And there's going to be multiple different modes too. Like, that's just
historically
one of the modes
with games like that, where it's kind of that action-oriented PvP teams against PvE or PvX, however you want to call it, those don't tend to do well often.
I feel like
it was right there. Look at this lady with red hair.
I know.
Her name be Regina, and dinosaurs. Oh,
that was a troll for sure. They're definitely. There's no way, because she looks so much like her.
that
That was
blew
a
my
troll.
mind looking back on the trailer. I'm like, what happened? Well, there you go. That's spiritual successor to Dino Crisis. Is Exoprimal sometime next year from Capcom. Going down the list that they have set up here, Returnable Ascension. So this is going to be an update
Yes.
for Returnal. Add
Mhm.
co-op mode, new area, and it has a huge tower that you go up floor by floor, which is kind of cool. I mean, it's just good to have a new update for it.
Co-op
It's more
update for
content. Why not?
my favorite PS5 game, PS5 exclusive.
Returnal. Yep.
Yeah, so I'm very happy about that.
That's actually soon too. That's in like
Yeah.
10 days or something. So
Mhm.
that's, I
End
mean,
of
hey,
March. And it's a free update. Free
Yeah.
update. That's really good.
how smart coming through.
Yeah.
Ghostwire Tokyo. That's coming out in about 10 days. And people are already playing this for previews. It's been people have been talking about it on. It seems like everyone's playing this thing for a preview and then I guess a review at some point. And I mean, this is kind of reminding me of Deathloop a bit. I feel like I'm starting to see this game a lot at these presentations. I'm just kind of ready for it to come out and see what we get from it.
I think it's gonna be good.
I think it's gonna be. I think it's good
Interesting.
enough. Yeah,
It'll be good enough.
Leave it open.
Yeah.
Not the 25th.
Yeah.
What's that? Ghostwire?
25th. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like 13 days.
There's too much other stuff that comes out that day, and I really want to play that game, but
Well, it's gonna be Ghostwire or Kirby.
There's Wonderlands for me for a Borderlands fan.
Oh yeah, the Borderlands game.
Oh yeah.
They also
So
showed
I'm
off
not mind.
Forspoken, which Forspoken got delayed. That's not coming out till later in the year now.
Good delay.
I mean, it was definitely needed.
Yeah.
Definitely needed. And obviously they announced it ahead of this because they showed the new date here and everything again. So, I mean, I still don't know about Forspoken. It doesn't look as appealing as I was hoping it would when they were talking about the Luminous Productions doing it and all of this. And it just, I don't know. Nothing about it really grabs me yet. The spells look cool.
Yeah, the spells look really cool. I'm not sold on like the character and the setting and all that, but gameplay wise, it looks like it can be a lot of fun. They haven't shown a lot of like diversity with like the enemies and stuff like that and how that's going to work. But I think the delay is really going to help smooth this game out and to where it can be a solid game. I don't know how good the game is going to be, but it can be a very solid game. It won't be like bad. I think that right now, if they would have launched it, it would have probably been like kind of bad,
Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin.
Game of the year, baby.
Next
Game of-
week.
Killing
Yes.
Chaos.
Game of the year.
Demo's out right now. You can apparently it's like the beginning of the game. I'm already ready to pick it up. I'm just grabbing it this week coming up. Now that Elden Ring's done, I'm gonna move on to this game, and I'm not even really grabbing the demo. I'm just gonna jump right into this when it releases next week.
Does it transfer over the demo? I think it does, right?
Yes, it does. So technically I could start it up, but I'm messing around with WWE 2K right now and a little bit of Gran Turismo, just kind of waiting for this one. So I'll get into it when it releases next week. And then we got into some newer announcements. Gundam Evolution, free to play multiplayer shooter with the Gundam Universe, PC, and PS4, PS5.
I mean, they showed that off a while ago, a little bit, to my memory.
Yeah, I hadn't even really seen it. I don't know. It said it was announced last year for PC. I never saw it. This is like first time. But yeah, first person shooter for Gundam, which I mean, I think it looks interesting enough. Like I would check it out.
It has third person
says-
elements, but yeah, primary first person is the big thing.
Yeah. So wait, is this? You saw that? You've seen this one before?
I've seen gameplay of it, but yeah, it definitely pulls mobile suits from a bunch of series. I think they showed the Iron Blood Orphan suit heavily.
I think I see
in that.
Gundam Wing in here.
There
Was that Gundam Wing? I thought
I
so,
think Wing's
too.
in here.
I don't remember seeing Wing. I definitely see the classic ones and then some newer ones, but they'll probably pull Wing. I can't see them
If
not
I can't
using
use
Wing.
Hiro Yui, I'm not playing it.
Screw that,
yeah,
Tall
so-
Geese all day long.
So it's a
Tall Geese is
first.
tight.
Is it an arena shooter? Is it like
It looks like an
hero
arena.
shooter? What is
It
this?
looks like an arena shooter almost. It just depends on, I guess, what they tell you to do. If it's just like team deathmatch, or if it's like point holding, or if you have to escort something. I don't know what they'll do with that.
Okay. Well, it's free to play, so it's just try it out. Maybe it'll end up being decent for being free to play. Then I mean, you could argue that this is the announcement of the show, right? TMNT, the Cowabunga collection.
Yes.
Yes,
This-
it's a very good announcement.
They revealed the list of games, and it's ridiculous.
But they messed up with the name. Why is it the Kawa Bungle Collection when it should just be the Kawa Bundle?
The Kawa bundle.
No, you need
The
Cowabunga.
Cowabunga collection.
Yeah,
The Kawa bundle.
No, the thing they messed up is there's no special edition where it comes in a pizza box.
Didn't they do that for the movies back in the early 2000s?
That would have been amazing.
You could just order it from your local pizza places, and it just comes with the pizza. It'd be great.
Isn't Konami like that, like friend that you want to choke out sometimes? It's so awesome, but it's also like horrible at the same time.
Yeah, then they do this, and you're like, all right, you can come in for a little bit and play PlayStation. It's fine.
Like the Cowabunga collection is insane. Like that might be the best value like that I've ever seen for like a retro collection.
13 TMNT games, they say, from 8-bit and 16-bit consoles out later 2022. It includes Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade, Turtles in Time Arcade, just Ninja Turtles for the NES, Turtles 2 for the NES, Turtles 3 for the NES, Turtles Tournament Fighters on the NES, then Turtles in Time on the Super Nintendo, Tournament Fighters Super Nintendo, Hyperstone Heist Genesis, Tournament Fighters Genesis, Fall of the Foot Clan on the Game Boy, Back from the Sewers on the Game Boy, and then Radical Rescue on the Game Boy, with many of these actually having online play. That's ridiculous.
I think 3 of them or 4 of them have online. Turtles in Time Arcade has online.
Yeah, for $40, there will be a physical copy.
I would rather play
digital.
Turtles in Time SNES online.
Okay.
Yeah, there are a few minor changes between the two
there's
versions.
a ton. What are you talking? There's more levels. There's more content.
Yeah,
more
and the
bosses.
bosses are different.
I would
But
rather.
I mean, both versions have, and let's see if someone responds correctly. Spawn, you can't. Big Apple.
3 a.m.
Damn right.
They the one I didn't spend a lot of time with, other than the Game Boy ones, which, I mean, I didn't really play a lot of those, but Hyperstone Heist is one I would love to go back and play, because that is one I'm least familiar with. I played Turtles in Time like ridiculous amounts.
Oh yeah.
It's
But-
really just
Turtles 2 the arcade. That game is like etched into my memory on the NES. Like that is incredible.
And that's a really
game.
good game. People always say that there wasn't good Turtles games on the NES, but Turtles Arcade and
When?
well, it's because
Who
of the
did
first
this?
game.
Oh,
The Manhattan Project doesn't get enough love either.
That's
that
a
was
great game.
Such a good game.
Phenomenal game. Yeah. Absolutely, on the NES especially. Also, all the tournament fighters, they're all different. Like it's weird because they like I just said tournament fighters like 3 or 4 times, but they all play differently. So.
Well, the Super Nintendo one is good. The Genesis one is not good.
What about the NES one? Isn't that one expensive?
Yes, and you know what? For an NES, for really the only NES fighting game, one-on-one fighter, it's actually pretty decent. Like obviously you're not getting a ton of moves and stuff like that, but I never thought it was a bad game.
13 titles though at $40 physically. That's pretty good.
That's
That's one to
I'd
pick
give
up.
$40 just for Turtles in Time.
Okay, see, Nate,
I said they could have charged 60 and this still would have been a good
well, I
deal.
think Turtles in Time is like a $60 or $70 game, isn't it? Like online to get it for the Super Nintendo.
It's 50-60 last I looked, but who knows now?
Or you could spend $600 and get it as an arcade one-up.
Yeah, that's not happening.
I don't think no, I think I spent 4 or 5. I think that was when it was still like 400.
Yeah, that wasn't
Yeah.
these price increases.
It's a good collection, provided it actually comes out the other side like in good shape. But so far,
I'm
you know what,
sure it will.
I'm willing to give Konami some credit here for making this happen.
Yeah, Digital
who's-
Eclipse
Digital
said
Eclipse
they're
is doing it,
doing
right?
emulation, so
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they did the Game Boy Advance collection for the what was it? The Castlevania was great. The first one, then the Castlevania collection. Like I was playing that the whole time when I was in Nigeria last year. So that was really good. There's the rewind features. They're gonna have that in this game too, because these games are in today's standards, they're tough, right? Like they're kind of difficult.
That's it.
Especially the NES. I'm gonna definitely use the rewind features for that.
Yeah, the
game.
NES. Yeah.
Because the only viable character is Donatello. Everybody else is bad.
See, there's, like, the
let's
staff.
not disrespect Leonardo.
Leonardo's, it's just reach. Whoever has the
Yeah, go ahead and try to beat the game as Raphael, Nate. Go ahead.
Raphael's this little tiny.
Hey, nobody brought up Raphael.
Raphael's terrible in the game.
Michelangelo is the coolest one.
Yeah, he's cool, but he's terrible.
Okay, he's the party dude.
Wasn't his super in one of them that he just did like a 45-degree angle jump up and only hit like the people in front of him? I can't remember.
Well, no, that's pretty much that's the jump attack.
No, but
And-
he does it like the whole way across the screen, but he only hits the people next to him, whereas everyone else does like big spins and stuff all over the place.
And we had Gigabash, which it looks like a Godzilla Destroy All Monsters or something like that.
Oh,
what they were
That's
showing.
what I thought
right?
it was. I thought it was Godzilla when I was like, oh, this is like a Godzilla.
It's like
game.
it's an isometric top-down big monsters in a city arena
kaiju
style game.
kaiju
Yeah.
arena
That's what it looked
brawler.
like.
Yeah.
Why can't we have a new War of the Monsters?
That's a good question.
Probably
game was
licensing if you're looking for the
awesome.
actual character.
I feel like that's kind of what this is supposed to try to be,
No.
but there probably is something with licensing. Evan's right. It looks a little.
War of the
I don't
Monsters.
know.
Well, War of the Monsters was all just generic.
Yeah, I guess that's. I don't know.
None of
That's a good question.
them were actually, it was like you had a big ass monkey. His name wasn't King Kong.
Yeah, this one looks, I don't know, too bright and colorful. Maybe that one looked a little more like dingy and a little more rough. This looks very bright and I don't want to say like Skylander-ish almost, just based on what the characters look like. But it doesn't look, I think, like you're saying, War of the Monsters. But we'll see. Maybe it could end up being all right. Then we had JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R.
Yes, I'm the only one excited for it.
This is a fighting game, OJ, from the PS3 era?
Yes, the PS3 game. It's an actual really good JoJo fighting game. There's pretty much two good JoJo fighting games, one on the Dreamcast, and then there's this one right here. And I am so excited for it because this game's actually pretty expensive on the PS3. It's over $100. So this one's going to be balanced, and it's going to have 50 plus characters. None of the DLC nonsense that they did or the microtransaction DLC nonsense they did in the original game. Balanced online play as well. Should be rollback netcode. I am ridiculously excited because this is actually a good anime 2D fighting game. It's not an arena fighter. It's not anything like that. It is a good anime 2D fighting game. So I am really excited for it.
Okay, cool. It says there's going to have 50 playable characters, and apparently the last one had 32. So
it's oh my gosh, I'm so excited for it. I mean, if you're a JoJo Bizarre Adventure fan, obviously everyone's excited for that. If you like the anime, I love the anime. But even if you're not, it's still a really good, solid like mechanics fighting game. Like it's actually really good. So this is a high quality one. So definitely look out for it.
And all my life.
We had Trek to Yomi. This is one, Sean, you said looked interesting. It's the
I like
Black and
that.
White Samurai game that they had. It's coming in the spring. It looks like it's also on Steam.
It's also on Game Pass.
Okay, it's also going to Game Pass. Oh, cool.
Great.
All right, that's good.
That's
Good.
well played.
So the thing with this though, it looked interesting considering with the black and white aesthetic. I think it would have looked pretty cool if they had because they had a lot of blood sprays and stuff. If that was like red to kind of contrast the black
Like
and
a
white
Schindler's
style.
List.
Just something to kind of, I guess, not necessarily brighten up, contrast all the stuff that's going on the screen
It's
there.
just,
The black
it's just
and
to
white.
stylize
Cool.
it, but like classic samurai films were just black and white, so the
Yeah, I
blood
guess
spray
that's
was
true.
in black
Like
and
Mad
white.
World.
Yeah. Okay. But I mean, hey, if it's going to Game Pass, there you go. People can just download it and try it out. Okay. Then we had Square Enix actually show up here with some new titles. The Dio Field Chronicle. I thought this was Final Fantasy Tactics for about 80% of the trailer.
Me too.
I'm like talking to myself. I'm like coming to terms. I'm like, look, there's a summon. All right, that art style looks just like Final Fantasy, and it's the Dio Field Chronicle.
Dio Field Chronicle.
Interesting that they didn't want to just try a new Final Fantasy Tactics, but all right, I guess that's fine. I mean, it's a new IP, so it's interesting and it's something different.
They are hype. They are. If you read the description and like the information for the game, they are hyping this up. They're calling it super innovative. You're not going to be like, this is a very different style of game. They're hyping it as if it's going to be like a super high quality like tactics, like real time tactics game. So after I read the description and read what they were doing, I was like, hey, this could be pretty good. I mean, because it's real time strategy. We don't get a lot of those. And it looks good. It looks fun. I mean, the character models and stuff maybe not the best, but they said cutting edge graphics. By the way, that's what Square Enix said. Cutting edge graphics and revolutionary or really innovative gameplay. So
They're playing pretty loose with that terminology, then.
they are playing very loose with that terminology.
Like the visuals don't look great. The gameplay, it looks like this is Square's take on Fire Emblem.
Yeah, I'd say
This
that.
is their
Just
answer
based
to
on what it's
Fire
showing.
Emblem.
Yeah, I mean, We'll see. We'll see. That's coming. That's coming this year, right? That's what it said. 2022.
Yeah, it's coming this year. From what I saw, I mean, Triangle Strategy is definitely more Fire Emblem than this game. But I see where Nate's coming from, like when it comes to like some of the aspects of it. But like Triangle Strategy literally has like, oh, here's 3 different high houses, and they all have an assigned color and stuff like that. So Triangle Strategy seems more like it. But this game, once again, it's real time strategy, so it's definitely plays very different than how a Fire Emblem game would play. But I definitely see what Nate.
Summon. I like that though. They got like the massive like scale summon and everything. It blows everything up. And, man,
Fire Emblem doesn't have stuff like that. They don't have like they have some things in some of the games, but no, it doesn't have summons like that. The way that they had it play out.
Yeah,
so
it's very over the top. I like.
And
That's cool.
It seems kind of like there's like really weird type of tech in the game. Like there's like different types of like maybe like it's like old school, but then it also has like newer tech that you wouldn't see in like a Fire Emblem game.
It looks.
I see what Nate's saying though.
It looks kind of fast, like what they're showing in battle. It looks like things are happening very, very fast when they're picking attacks and like stuff's chaining all over the place and numbers are popping. Interesting. Okay, well that's set for 2022. So probably I guess towards the end of this year we'll see it release. We had Valkyrie Elysium.
Oh no.
So I had some questions about this because I'm seeing this. I have no idea what's going on. I'm like, is this just a new IP? And then they had Valkyrie pops up and I'm like, is this Valkyrie Profile?
It is.
That's what I'm seeing. I'm like, it doesn't look like it, but
it's a new entry. It's a new entry in it. And man, I don't know what
the outline around the character that makes it look completely out of place.
Yeah, the visual style of this game is terrible.
I was gonna say it was just me. I'm watching it back. I'm like, it looks weird. Like,
yeah, it looks weird. And guess who the developers are of this game?
Oh no, it's not Platinum, is it?
Tokyo Factory.
Oh gosh, okay.
No,
we couldn't have Platinum take another one.
It's the same. They have somewhat of a good and bad track record. It's the same developers who made Samurai Jack, which is not bad.
That's all right. That's all right.
But then they also made Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Strikers, which that game is terrible.
Now, you don't want to be called that. Yeah.
That game is the melee combat of that game is so bad. So I am mixed on this. And Valkyrie Profile, John, you guys played Valkyrie Profile back in the day.
It's not an action RPG like that. No, it's not. It's like a turn-based kind of tactical style. It's not this though. This is different.
It's like Indivisible. That game is awesome, right? It's like you assign a character to each of your face buttons. It's really innovative and fun. Not a lot of games do that, even in today's day. And then they make it into like Tales or like every other action RPG that we've seen out of Japan, but maybe not as good looking, So I'm just
they turned it into an action game. They figured they'd modernize it that way and maybe it'll help sell it, but I think the visuals in this just look so weird. It looks off.
It looks like a cheap Square Enix project. And if you're going to return to Valkyrie Profile, give it a high budget, make it a big release. It used to be a big deal for them, and now it feels as though it's just a second-class citizen.
Or on the PS1, it was there's a lot. I remember seeing that in magazines a lot, actually.
PS1 and PS2. They tried. I mean, obviously the sales weren't up to where they wanted it to be, but I just don't know. I think they're trying I think the team is trying with the budget that was given to them. You know?
I would say that.
Right.
Yeah. Like Square's not allotting a lot, but like seeing them try a brand new IP like the Dio Field Chronicle, I'm still like, all right, Square's trying. They're trying. So I'll give it
is. I mean, there's been some questions about Square lately.
I mean, yeah.
I
Babylon's Fall.
I saw you made a video on that.
Oh yeah.
Like, should they be, taking some weird chance with a game like this that I don't know that's gonna sell very well?
I probably would have passed on the Valkyrie attempt here, and I would have just done Dio Field Chronicle if I was them, just to try it.
Right. Like that game doesn't look bad, and I mean strategy RPGs are pretty popular right now. But I don't know, that game.
The Valkyrie one is a little head scratching.
What a weird way to close out the show too.
I think they thought they had something there. They're like, well, all these Valkyrie Profile fans are gonna get really excited about this, and it's like, no,
because it's an actual real exclusive too, though. Like it for PlayStation and PC. So it's not the Dio Field's coming to most of these games are coming to other platforms. Pretty much all these games are coming to other platforms, but this Valkyrie game is just PlayStation 4, PS5. and also PC. They said it runs 4K 60 frames per second on PS5. So at least
I would hope so.
Yeah, at least
You can see that outline and beautiful 4K.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'm looking at this. You're right. I'm not really sure what else they would close out with, because do you feel, it's on everything. TMNT's on it. Yeah. Well, yeah. That's the thing with Sony though, is they really struggle with what to close out with in State of Plays.
Mm-hmm.
It's consistent. Like they always just seem to have a hard time with it.
This would be the only choice.
Yeah, it's that. You're right, OJ. Maybe they were just stuck. They're like, well, we're not going to close out with Ghostwire Tokyo, so go ahead and do that, I guess. Valkyrie,
dinosaur game,
or the
they can't. So this was really the only thing that they could close out with was this game.
Unless the dinosaur game was a new Dino Crisis, then you close out with it. Right?
Well, yeah,
let's do it. Here we go. But that's
true.
That's a shame. Okay. State of Play though. What do you guys think of it overall?
Solid.
Yeah, for me, if I had to give it like a letter grade, I would say a B. I mean, not B. Sorry, I was reading something that was a B. I would give it a C, because I think there was things for a lot of people that enjoy those styles of games. I'm just not really one of those people. The turtle stuff was great. The game, I forget the name of it that I said I liked. That looks great. The ninja game, samurai game, but stuff like Jojo and the strategy RPG.
Let me ask you this, Sean. Take Valkyrie away, and instead they close out with RE4 remake. What's the show to you then?
That I would give it a high B, low A. Yeah,
that's all we need. See, it's interesting. It's that one announcement like makes the show for a lot of people. Like I think a lot of people would say it's immediately a B+ or an A-, like right away.
Because it really
it's interesting
comes down to your personal tastes and what sort of games you like. That's why some people will love a direct and other people will hate a direct at the same time. And people are like, oh, how could they think different than me? It's because there's people like different games.
That's true. Yeah, but like RE4 in general probably would have hit with I don't say but like almost everyone. I mean, like, all right, yeah, that's a big deal. That's a big
or Silent Hill.
Joke with Silent Hill.
Gosh, someday, Nate. It'll happen, Nate. It'll happen.
It's gonna happen. I mean, you've seen Jeff Grubb was on the show last week, couple weeks ago. It's real.
Yeah, he's drunk.
So that's the State of Play. Not bad, not great, somewhere in the middle. All right, good stuff. Let's go over to Evan. Next, you have a Discord question over there.
If you could go back and play a game all over again for the first time, what game would you choose?
Link to the Past immediately.
Metal Gear Solid. No, Metal Gear Solid 3. Metal Gear Solid 3 or Ocarina of Time.
Oh, that first Metal Gear did hit though.
Spyro.
That Psycho Mantis fight was the first time when you realize you got to unplug the gun. I think I might still stick with Link to the Past. That had a lot of fun discovery in it.
Sir, I said Metal Gear Solid 3.
Metal Gear Solid 3 is good too.
Chrono Trigger is still so great even today's day. That was a revolutionary thing for me. So Chrono Trigger would be my pick.
Okay. You got another one, Evan?
Why do people still care about Michael Pachter's lousy opinions and analysis?
They don't. It just makes easy topic.
They don't.
I've been bodying that dude since he was fucking talking about Iwata.
His last one was that PlayStation isn't gonna make it out of this generation. Basically, in 10 years there won't be a PlayStation anymore.
He was trolling. He had to have been trolling. It was an Xbox podcast, man.
You can go back and listen to it, dude. He seemed pretty serious. He seemed pretty serious about it.
He's a sarcastic guy. Like, if you ever watched like his series that he had on game trailers, like I think he still does. Like the whole with Shane Satterfield and all that. Like, he's a very sarcastic guy. He's he was
following up on Twitter and talking to people about it. I don't know.
There's no way, man.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like that. I don't think he could really believe that, because worst case Sony would go at least 2 generations because they'd be stubborn about it or something. There's gonna be a PlayStation 7, I bet.
Even if he wasn't trolling, he's still a fucking idiot.
Jordan,
I would tell him that on Twitter, but
PlayStation over in 10 years. PlayStation out in 10 years, Jordan. That's it. Back it up.
I don't even know who we're talking about. I've never heard of him before.
That was a weird one. That was a weird one. I have to imagine that he thinks we're going to an all streaming future very quickly, and I don't necessarily agree with that, because Well, I know what Comcast is.
Yeah,
so.
American internet sucks, and that's a major cross section of your purchasing group.
Yes. All right, yeah, another one, Evan.
Do you guys see Nintendo would collab with From Software in a future title?
No.
I don't know, because I mean that would be an M-rated game, and I think Nintendo would be okay with that. But like, I'd be curious to see if they'd be okay with the kind of game that
From Software
makes, and if they'd put like Nintendo characters in there or something.
Wasn't From Software Armored Core titles as well?
Yes.
No, yeah.
So why not do something like that? I mean, technically, Daemon X Machina was from a small group from that, so they kind of.
They're gonna make it. There's another Armored Core game coming, which will be cool. But I thought you meant like they were gonna make like a Demon Souls or something with Nintendo characters or something like that. You know what? I wouldn't mind them doing it and being like, would you guys like to make a Star Fox game?
Or an F-Zero.
Or an F-Zero?
From Software F-Zero.
Elden Star Fox.
Hey, you know what? They let Platinum take a shot, and they almost killed the whole thing. So let's see what FromSoft could do.
Well, with that game, that's not 100% Platinum. That's kind of Miyamoto's fault.
Yeah, because they were like, must use the gamepad.
Yeah, like if you remove, I've played that game. If you remove the gamepad stuff, it's actually not bad.
They should port it over.
They should port it over, and it would do well. Star Fox Zero would actually do well on the Switch. It would do well.
I think
it would do better than it had to do better than the Wii U. I don't think it'd do it worse. Like it have to do better than the Wii U version.
Well, people would play it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be something. I'd be curious what idea Nintendo would have to go with them. I mean, technically, it could happen. I don't know. Never know. Let's go to E3 2022. It looks like it's going to happen. I wasn't sure at first because, well, it's March and we didn't really know anything about it. But apparently, according to rumors, I think Tom Henderson said something on Twitter even about it. There was an email that went out, and they are talking about E3 being an all-digital event, much like last year. Year before that, it was canceled. The last E3 we had was 2019 in person, like the actual event and all this. And what was announced there? We had Final Fantasy VIII Remastered was announced there. Marvel's Avengers was announced there. Luigi's Mansion 3 was shown there. So it's been a while. With Breath of the Wild, that's when Breath of the Wild 2 was announced. Yeah, so it's been a long time since an E3's been like in full swing in person. So I mean, that's not going to be till next year anyway.
Does it need to be in person though anymore?
I kind of feel like it has to, because then there's no point in it existing necessarily. Like I feel like these digital events are just to keep it going to get to the point where it's back in person. I don't know why you participate in this if it's just all digital, because you're just streaming on their channel.
Well, I mean, it's kind of the format and the structure and the name, you know. I feel like the name still has a bit of notoriety outside of just the gaming community. Like you see websites and, you know, things covering E3 that you don't necessarily see them ever talk about video game stuff.
I mean, the thing is now these companies can just go live whenever they want. If they want to make an announcement, we're going to go live. We're going to do it our own time. We don't try to fit it into schedule that's really tightly packed and we have to go around everyone else. And I mean, E3 is not cheap. Nate mentioned a long time ago that to the in-person event, it's crazy amounts of money.
Nate, why don't you talk about how much money it costs? Maybe make a graph while we're at it.
That's because Sean's getting his ass kicked in F-Zero and wants me to be distracted.
I mean, all digital event again this year. Is it back next year? Because at the end of 2021, we're going to have Gamescom. That's coming back as an in-person event, and Tokyo Game Show is going to be in person. So E3 next year, we're back. And it's going to be in LA or California.
Mm-hmm. I mean, for the consumer, being an all digital event is really no different than what you got anyways. You watch a stream online. For the industry itself, developers, publishers, partners, this is damaging because it's once again a situation where there's no in-person meetings to make deals. There's no discussions between companies, and that's bad for the industry. We do have GDC
I was going to bring up
this month, and that's good. That's good for the industry.
Yeah.
E3 as an actual place in terms of consumer interest, it's good to have this week where the companies can target their announcements. When you had the Summer Game Fest, it was just chaos.
Yeah.
And I think by going to an all digital event, if you're a company like, we'll say Square Enix, Nintendo, Microsoft, if you don't have games ready to be announced, just don't participate. Wait until you have something. Don't force yourself into this 1 week window just to say you were there. Because last year we had that Capcom conference, which was a waste of time. It had nothing. Don't do it this year if you have nothing. Wait until you actually have product to show.
Yeah, it's that sense of like we feel like we have to be there because it's happening, whereas we might not be ready till August, so we'll just wait till then. So I see these companies, developers, publishers, all these people are just large enough. Capcom goes, hey, there's a Resident Evil stream next week. Well, we're all going to tune in and watch it, aren't we? Like if they're like expect new Resident Evil announcements, everyone's gonna be like, well, I guess I'm gonna watch that then, because we're just expecting RE4 or maybe the multiplayer game or whatever that's been rumored. All these different things. So I don't necessarily know if they need E3 for that, but if it's in person, Nate, you're right. It's necessary. I wanted to ask MVG about GDC because that's back, and I feel like he'd be able to speak on the difference between if that was like just a digital event for developers, like what he would go through, or if it's in person.
And eat some crisps, talk some business deals.
I don't know. I've never been to E3. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the backroom deals that go on there. I'm not sure. I don't know the format or anything. Maybe next year, Sean and I will go out there.
Ew. Going to California, are you nuts?
Well, I mean, next year
who doesn't like warm weather? You know what I'm saying? Warm weather.
I
don't like warm weather.
Maybe next year they'll go somewhere else. I don't know. I mean, are they staying in the convention center in that area and everything?
Well, it wasn't. Fuck you, Nate. In '96, I think they did Atlanta, didn't they?
Yeah, and they had a bunch of stuff stolen, and people were stealing like cameras and equipment from backpacks.
That's Atlanta. I mean, shit.
Well, I mean, I was just curious if they would try anywhere else. Maybe they'll just stick it out there in the convention center there. But I would like to see E3 come back because it's fun to have it. Look forward to it every year and see what gets announced. So I have a lot of confidence that the digital shows can be put together well. I feel like it's going to be very last minute and all over the place again. But the fact that they're sending out emails now in March, and apparently it was talking about like, hey, what are you guys going to be showing? Like, hey, would you guys like to show stuff? It'll be interesting. We'll see. Evan, we have a Discord question over there.
I've noticed more and more when gamers are critiquing games, if a game is fairly short, that it is seen as a positive. Is it fair to say that these days gamers are more choosy about picking up these 50+ hour open world games that most offerings from Ubisoft?
Jordan, would you rather Assassin's Creed Valhalla be 20 hours or the length that it is right now?
20 hours that are the good hours, the best story moments. I think there's problems with trying to give too much and not making it worth something, rather than making it shorter but giving all those hours, all that time, like remembering like that was a great 20 hours, rather than out of this 130 hours there was that first hour, that 35th hour was okay. I'd like a better.
Did a lot of it feel like samey, like padded almost, where it's just like repetitive things, or?
That's what it becomes. You can really feel that in a lot of missions where it's like, okay, we just need to have the story kind of go on here. So just do the same, follow this person around mission, kill them, go over to this next area, get some intel, go do the same thing, rather than make the story flow a bit better.
Far Cry kind of felt like that. Where it was just like, hey, you're gonna do this point, and then now you can go to the story mission. But as long as you complete those 5 points before.
And the latest Ubisoft games feel like that.
I heard in the latest Dying Light, a lot of the places you had to like take over were even just the same map, almost like the same kind of thing.
Dying Light 2 has busy work in it, but like some of it's interesting. Like they have like a lot of parkour elements for getting the windmills, for example. They're almost like little, I don't want to say dungeons, but like puzzles of like where to jump and what to grab onto and activating switches. So like that part's interesting, and it's all verticality. So you're just getting higher and higher and higher while you're doing all of this. But yeah, it does have that same idea of it's a world we have to populate with stuff for you to do. So here's busy work at times. I like the idea of a game just being a solid like 15 to 20 hours. I'm okay with that.
Game like doesn't bother me as long as it doesn't overstay its welcome.
Yes.
If it's just long to be long, then no. I mean, I've played games that I've loved that are 5-10 hours. I played games that I loved that for 30-40 hours. You know, it depends on the game. I don't think length is necessarily indicative of quality, but you know, you do like to get your money's worth, especially if we're talking about a full retail release or something. Like if you're gonna release a game for $70 on the PS5 and it's 5 hours long, I mean, are you getting your money's worth out of it?
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah, what's packed in and how much you enjoy it. That'll determine if the game's really making it worth that time and investment.
Okay, Evan, hit us with a Discord question over there.
Recently just re-listened to Buck Bumble's soundtrack on N64. The UK Garage slaps. What's your most slept on soundtrack of a game?
Buck Bumble.
Most slept on soundtrack in a game.
Octopath Traveler.
Octopath Traveler. Actually, that's a good point because I was positive that was going to win an award that year and it didn't. It's a very good soundtrack.
Yeah, what did it lose to? Red Dead Redemption or something like that?
I think so, yeah. And it was just like, this makes no sense.
I almost drove to Los Angeles myself after I heard that. I was on the way. I was like, Keely, you and me right now.
I think Double Dragon won because everyone just thinks of the first level song. Double Dragon won on the NES because it has extra songs in it that the arcade version doesn't, and like those songs are just iconic to me. Like I love that soundtrack.
I like the first Contra game. Actually, there's a band that did metal covers of all of it, and it was really good.
Yes, Contra is very much slept on. The soundtrack is fantastic.
What about F-Zero X? How's that?
How's that sounding to you guys right now?
Nate, what's the victory song sound like? I was gonna ask Sean, but he looks like
I've been hearing it all night so far.
The way Sean's looking over there.
He's in 4th place right now, though.
For now.
Until this happened.
I programmed a much better AI than that.
Stop hitting me.
Get the hell out of the way.
Slow and steady wins the race. Yeah, he blew up. Best game ever.
Veluxian says Chocobo GP's gameplay is really fun, but its shop prices and slow experience gain almost kills it for me. It makes it feel like it should be free to play.
Yeah, I've seen a lot about that.
It's a $50 game, right?
Yeah, but I've heard that it's like it's ridiculous to unlock stuff in the game. Like
there's a free version of the game that you can just play.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, you want a more complete.
Well, what's the light version? What's that give you? I have to double check.
I would just
see what limitations are.
Like a couple courses, maybe. Like I'm sure you don't get the online and stuff like that.
I did see a lot of people talk about the.
You can play online. Like, look, I'm not defending Chocobo GP, by the way. I don't.
A big Chocobo GP fan. Just admit it. What
I'm just saying.
You?
I've played. No, I wish I got a sponsorship from them. I didn't. Yeah, I've played the light version, and it's just. I mean, it's okay. It's good. It's not bad. But yeah, the freemium stuff. I'm like kind of tired of the freemium stuff, to be honest, man. I mean, you can buy the game, but that freemium stuff is still in there even after you buy the.
Yeah, it's a little strange. It's $50. You feel like you paid the entry fee there. You should just get everything in a reasonable amount of time to unlock. That's odd. I didn't pick it up mostly because I have Mario Kart, but it's I'm curious now more actually to see how bad it really is. But I don't know if I want to spend $50 to find out.
The gameplay is fun though. Like, and they have some really cool modes. There's like a 64 player like knockout mode or something.
Oh, see, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, they've got some really cool stuff in there. Like there's some good modes and things like that I would love to see in Mario Kart, you know, like the next Mario Kart or whenever that's coming.
Crossroads.
There
Robbins says Capcom quietly laughing at Dino Crisis fans. When are we going to hear those updated Metroid Dread numbers? That'll be end of April, beginning of May.
Yeah, May. First half of May.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Cool as a cucumber, son of a bitch.
Retro says all this advanced hardware, yet 8-bit and 16-bit games steal the show at State of Play. How ironic. Hey, people, we're old.
It's the Ninja Turtles.
We're old. We like this stuff.
We grew up on those games and they're great.
Jeff says, can we go back to asking the panel what they've been playing? We all enjoyed that in the past.
F-Zero X.
I was going to say, they're playing that now. I was playing
Turismo 7.
I played WWE 2K22 after finishing up Elden Ring.
Playing way
Since
too much
I'm a big
Ark.
Persona fan, I've been playing Persona 4 Ultimate.
Persona 4 Arena Ultimax.
Who's your favorite character in the game, Sean?
I like the guy with the baseball bat. Was it Junpai? I think his name
You got to
is.
get OJ to coach you for this, man. I'm telling you.
Come out for SMT5.
Yes, you heard that right. I'm the one. I'm playing WWE 2K22, and Sean's playing a Persona game. That's right.
Tables,
Sean,
ladders, and John.
Strategy.
You getting 2K22, Sean?
Maybe when it's on sale. Money's tight.
Gosh.
If I beat Nate in this race, I will.
It's much better than 2K21. I'll tell you that.
Okay, first off, there wasn't a 2K21. Last one was 2K20.
It's better than 2K20.
Horrible. Anything can be better than that game. That game was the absolute armpits.
It was pretty bad then. This one feels more like from the, I want to say the PS2 generation. It's not that fast. It's closer to the early 360 days.
I've been watching people play it. I really just don't like the roster. Like, the fact that you only get Shawn Michaels with like one attire is ridiculous to me. Like, there's a million different attires and a million different eras of him that you can use. It seems like a step in the right direction gameplay wise, but it doesn't have a lot of the frills. And like, I'm not the biggest Rey Mysterio fan in the world, so I don't really care to play like his career through. Like, I've watched most of it, so I don't know. I'll get it eventually.
It will go on sale pretty quick. People really like the showcase mode with Rey Mysterio. Okay, I haven't played it though. I haven't played it.
It's cool. I will say it's interesting how they'll blend in actual clips of the matches that you're wrestling in, because it's like objective based. But Eric was streaming it last night, and then all of a sudden his stream went down and he got a copyright claim on
because of the video clip.
Yeah. I was laughing so hard. I messaged him. I was like, they didn't get a strike though. They just took it down.
WWE is terrible, by the way. They're like the worst when it comes to that type of stuff. Bro, I got copyright claimed on like a Bill Goldberg clip where I put Lucario's face on there.
Oh man.
I was like, what?
Console Gamer says, got my ticket for Too Many Games. Is my first convention ever. Any helpful advice for a first timer other than Miss Click's advice? Take a shower.
Set a budget.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's a good idea. Because and my advice is make sure you try to lap around the convention center one time before you buy anything. Try to look at as much as you can before then, because I see people buy stuff and they're like, oh, I shouldn't have bought that because now I see this.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't be afraid to barter either.
Yeah, barter.
Especially it depends on when you're going, but if you happen to be going on Sunday, that's when people are like, I don't want to lug all this shit back with me. I want to sell it, and that's when you can get the best deals. If you're going just for the experience, then whatever. But if you're going to actually buy stuff, it's definitely best to shop on Sunday.
It's best to shop, but you definitely want to secure any big things you see that you're like, I need that is it, on as early as possible, because there's gonna be at least 100 other people who are like, yep, that's it. But yeah, Sunday you can get some crazy stuff.
And bring trade bait if you got anything too. Vendors
you can trade stuff. Like if you have some stuff that you don't necessarily play or want anymore, a lot of the vendors there will trade with you. So you're right, it's a good piece of advice too. Should be fun though. I'm looking forward to it. That's end of June. Been announced, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. Zoob says, follow-up question, I'm concerned about picking up Rune Factory 5 over Triangle Strategy because farming sims historically lack proper guidance on goals. Sean, what's your feeling on Rune Factory 5 over there? You're like the expert now.
I'm very interested in that game, actually. And I've played Rune Factory before. I played one, I believe it was on the Nintendo DS, and I really enjoyed it.
Did you get Rune Factory 4 on your Switch?
No.
Oh. Okay.
I kind of like Rune Factory because it's like Harvest Moon with dungeons, and like that's a cool little thing. And when I was making my video for the March Switch games, like that game actually really caught my eye. I'm trying to get a review copy of it because I feel like it'd be interesting to see how it ended up turning out. It looks promising though.
Frost says, so you guys think that TMNT Cowabunga is going to steal the thunder away from Shredder's Revenge?
No, it's going to complement it.
Oh, it's going to complement it.
I don't think Shredder's Revenge is coming out towards the tail end of the year.
And it's new. These are games we've played. It's kind of just getting us back in the groove for it. Now we're like, all right, now let's see the new game.
Yeah, this is companies do this this is purposefully done, right? I mean, like to help out with it. It's not stealing any thunder at all. This is something the gaming industry has been doing for decades now to get you hyped and get you, like now you play this, now there's this, So yeah, it's a good thing.
Joe asked, do you think the Switch 2 will have a screencast like phones do with smart TVs eliminating the need for a dock? Also maybe a built-in projector. Also like they should partner with Safe Moon and do online better. I think they're still going to have a dock. I don't know if you would have a good latency with the technology now.
Screencast is terrible. Why?
Also, the dock has another really nice feature. What's that, Sean? What happened to your Switch? It was dead.
Oh,
you drop it in the dock and it charges it. It's actually pretty nice. Whereas if you screencast it, you're not going to be plugging it in. I like that a lot, actually. People, you don't even think about it. Drop the Switch in the dock, it's actually charging as well. So it's nice. So, Zuck says GT7 is basically a $70 games as a service. Yes, it is one of their games as a service games.
I mean, yes, but you get enough content. It's not like you don't get a lot of content.
Well, people say games as a service is like, I don't know, they seem to equate that to not having content in the game, whereas they try to overload it with content because games as a service needs you to keep playing. Dude, GT Sport had so many cars added, like it was constant. So I think this will keep getting cars added too. But
it is over 400 cars to begin with too.
It is definitely one of their 10 games as a service games they're going to count. Zoop says, on the other hand, I'm picking Triangle Strategy because tactic games often don't have an easy enough mode for me.
There's an easy mode in the game. I mean, Zoob, shout outs to my man Zoob, but like Zoob, it's easy. I don't know how much easier that you want it to be outside of just playing the game for you. Like the easy mode in Triangle Strategy is like you can't die. Like you literally have to just put your controller down and let them beat the crap out of you until you die, or just keep on making the dumbest moves. So don't feel intimidated by the game. It's super. They literally have a very easy mode in the game. Like there's easy, then there's very easy. You can pick that one.
Boot says different subgenres, but Forza wins and isn't scummy. Well, Forza Motorsport is going to be like right there with GT when that comes out at the end of this year.
That kind of shit with Forza. Come on.
Yeah, I'm curious if I feel like they will, but I mean we'll see. I guess we'll see. Noah says if you could live in a video game world, which one would it be?
Leisure Suit Larry.
A lot of video game worlds are very dangerous.
Super Smash Brothers. You get to go to all these different locations. You get to get the crap out of people.
Punched in your face every now and then.
Super Smash Brothers would be the most lit. Like, look at all these different video game worlds you get to go to and like hang out in. Smash Brothers.
In a small section of a couple platforms as you watch it fly by and you can't leave.
No, you got to pick the stage morphing, then you can morph to a whole different stage.
What about Pokemon? You get to catch Pokemon, Jordan. How about that? How about we just roll into red and blue? The good old days when there's only 150 of them, 151.
Yeah, I'll take any generation.
Okay, good. We're just gonna let 10-year-old kids just wander off into the wilderness.
I mean, it is what it is.
All right, there we go.
Their life. Can't control it.
And Riot says, shout outs to Mr. Davis from the pre-show. Mr. Davis 2024. Jeff says, Jordan, I've never seen SpongeBob. Which seasons do you think are the best?
The first three are probably the best. I would say up till season 5 is where I like. Anything after that I wasn't as interested in as much. There's been some good after that, but I say the first 5 seasons are your best bet.
Daniel says, any of you have heard of or played Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel? Best Konami game I have played a long time. Has cross-play and everything. Did you play it, Jordan?
I haven't played it yet, but I've heard of it.
Okay. Necro says, Elden Ring is a success. So much so, MVG had to take a break. MVG's been playing that a lot, actually. I think he mentioned he's like 60 some odd hours in or something like that. He's been playing it.
0x.
He's been playing Elden Ring quite a bit. I finished Elden Ring is like 50 some odd at 54 hours I think now, and I'm finishing up like one of the tougher bosses. My sword is glitched though, so they need to fix that. Bandai fix the sword, but it's good.
How is it glitched?
I have enough stats in there and your weapon's supposed to scale with your stats, and it does not scale with arcane. So my sword that causes bleeding and looks awesome does not work, and they're aware of it and they have not fixed it yet. So I might have to go to change. I might have to go change.org. Get it done.
Wouldn't happen in Gran. What the God? It wouldn't happen in Gran Turismo.
Are you winning,
7.
Nate?
I fell off the map somehow. I don't even know how I did that.
B. Martin asked, question for RGT and Nate. Who's the best talent in AEW right now?
Ooh.
Sting.
Baron Black, baby. That's my question. Baron
Black. He'll get that first win soon.
He'll get it soon.
I would say overall package. Oof. I mean, we're talking kids or established. Like,
that's the thing. I mean, Daniel Bryan is probably the best overall package, right?
Right. And then you have people that you could see becoming someone like that like potential based.
Questions. Oh, wait, hold on, Sean. Are you buying that AEW game day one?
Yeah. It's made by Aki.
They make good wrestling games.
Damn right they do.
What was the last one they made? It was what was the last one they made?
Rumble Roses? Did they do that on the PS2?
I think so.
Let me say.
Okay, yeah, looking at that. Hits Overhype says, "What's one game you don't own that you plan on buying from the Wii U 3DS shops before they close?" Oh, that's a good question. I almost want a digital copy of Prime Trilogy on the Wii U.
Why? It's coming to
I don't trust this physical copy forever. I mean, we'll see. All right, Sean, what'd they make?
It wasn't Rumble. I really think it was No Mercy because Ukes was the company that made
was the
Rumble
last one they
Roses.
made.
I think so.
Really? I feel like that.
I would pause and look right now, but
oh man. Okay. Wow. I did not think it was that long. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see how it goes with.
I mean, really, if you just take No Mercy and put in different graphics for the AEW guy, that's good enough. Throw in a couple more game modes, that's good enough. That's all the streets want.
Wait, hold on.
The streets.
Why do you keep saying streets?
It's the streets specifically.
Saying. That's what the people want.
All right. I'm laughing because you don't like go outside to the streets, but you're saying that's in the
I
streets.
will when I get my new car. I'm very excited to drive my Pinto around.
That's gonna be a sweet ride there at the Pinto.
Yes,
that's the Pinto AMG. That's gonna be great.
What happened to the DeLorean?
DeLoreans aren't practical to actually drive.
Oh yeah, they brought the DeLorean back though. You could have grabbed that.
No, they haven't brought it back yet.
Oh, I thought. Oh, okay. They're showing like concepts for it.
Yeah, it's coming back, I believe, but it's not back yet.
So you're saving for it now, is what you're saying.
Passed up on that. Wow. All right,
My mom asked why I didn't get a Tesla. I was like, yeah, enjoy when the EMP strike hits. She was like, what the hell is wrong with you?
I mean, I think a lot of other things would be affected by an EMP
like
strike.
the battery in your car.
That's one thing. I'll be driving to the gas station, get a pack of cigarettes. You'll be stuck at home.
How are you gonna buy it from the gas station if an EMP hits?
Cash
money.
But wouldn't the computer system be down?
No, the gas
Wouldn't
station
they just
bought
leave?
a computer system. The guys just make up the prices on the fly.
With the, I think you're underestimating what an EMP strike would do to everything else around you other than your Tesla. Let's talk about this supposed Xbox leak. This comes from a data mine that was being shared around, and it comes down to a code name for a piece of Xbox hardware. And people are saying it's hardware because it's lumped in with the products from the Xbox One and the Xbox Series with their code names like Durango and Scarlet and all of this. And this one's called Xbox Keystone. And everyone seems kind of confused. But I saw some people who really cover Xbox who even are like, this, I kind of think I know what this is, but I'm not 100% sure. But it seems like it would be product related, not necessarily part of like, oh, they're streaming or anything there when it comes to the service or software. Mm-hmm. So Xbox Keystone, hit us with it, Nate.
I believe it is the initiative where they have a stream stick or a Firebox type of concept.
I believe it is. So now we have to build this for them. Okay, let's brainstorm. So the Xbox Keystone would be their lowest cost of entry.
$50.
Maybe 99.
I'm trying to figure out how they make this package work. What do you think, Sean?
I think you got to do it for $150. Just do it of like, oh, maybe 100 without a controller, 139 with a controller or something. Just keep it simple. Like a Game Pass on a stick, connects to your internet, streams on there. Call it a day.
So I would put this kind of in line with the Fire Stick TV.
Yes.
It's sort of how I'm looking at it. And those are pretty cheap. Like a Fire Stick TV with the remote is $40. They have the Fire TV Cube, and that's $120. But that is much more of a move up from the streaming stick. And I'm kind of thinking if they added a controller in, it would be a $99 thing. And they'd probably throw in like 3 months of Game Pass or something. But I feel like if they get it under 100, that would be a pretty big deal for them in terms of marketing when it comes to price. I think if they did like 150, it looks a little weird because it's that extra digit, you know? So I'm thinking $100, Xbox controller, little stream stick. That's my plan. What do you got, Nate?
Yeah, I think you price it below $100. You do the controller, you give X amount of months of Game Pass, because the money that they would make selling this product would be you renewing your Game Pass subscription or, yes, buying a digital game, however they have the infrastructure set up. So you want to come in as low as you can and just make your money on renewing subscriptions for the long term. Okay.
So here's the next question, because we pretty much believe that it's probably this streaming thing. Like I don't think it's some other weird thing. I mean, I guess it could be something they're playing around with and it was just in like the code when it was data mined, and it'll be taken out eventually. But if it is this streaming thing, is this going to be a big thing for Microsoft? Like, will they actually sell these?
How well did the PlayStation Vita Home do?
Well, here's my thing with this one is they could also have it natively do things. It doesn't have to just stream everything necessarily. Like it could, well, I guess it technically stream. It could play Netflix. It could play Amazon. It could play like Prime Video. It could be basically the Fire Stick, but also have the ability to run that game streaming app for Microsoft. So I think if you kind of market it as this Xbox stick, and maybe they call it something else. Maybe it's not even Xbox branded. I don't know. I feel like you would use it, but who knows? I think you could play it off as it being a multimedia device that also can stream games, like this all-in-one platform for streaming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, that's probably, I would imagine that's the direction they're going to go in too.
I almost wonder if they would even think to sell it without the controller for like $50.
Yeah, I mean,
like, if you have an Xbox
options, yeah.
And I'm very curious if it would work with remote play for your Xbox. So like if you already have an Xbox and you have it wired into your network, could you then technically buy these as almost full-on systems for other rooms that you have,
like a streaming thing?
Exactly, but it's over your network, so the latency would be very low basically. So like instead of having to buy 2 Xbox systems, you would just buy one of these sticks along with your Xbox and put the stick in your bedroom or something.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, Steam,
like I
Steam
feel
did
like
something similar with that a long time ago.
Yeah, what was that thing called?
Steam Deck? No.
Or Streamlink? Steam Link?
Steam
Link.
Oh,
Steam Link. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Steam Link.
Exactly. So you have that. You drop it in different rooms. Yeah, but I think Microsoft would hopefully understand how to make it work a bit better. And they already have they've already shown remote play and stuff on the Xbox. So I think if they have that and they market it and position it that way, it would actually be kind of interesting. Like I would probably pick one up if it could do that, all that stuff, and put it in a room and try it out and be like, that's cool. I don't need another Xbox Series in here technically.
I think the Steam Link would be better now for me. Now that I got fiber, I think it would be much better. I don't know.
I mean, it's down to your router since it's just local. It's not necessarily your overall internet.
But I mean, you could also connect to it from through your internet and all that too. I remember. So
I do wonder. I mean, because even if you are using your home connection, I do kind of wonder what sort of latency you'll come across.
It would probably be pretty low. I'm trying to remember what this. I feel like I'm trying to think because I used that Steam Link a bit. I remember it was okay, but I kind of feel like it would be low enough to where you wouldn't even really notice it too much, in terms of latency. If that's the case, I think a lot of people would probably pick it up.
Did you guys have issues with the Steam Link? For me, it was it looked kind of pixelated.
Yeah.
It was not.
Yep.
Yep.
It has that with compression, yeah. But Microsoft, if they have a better technique set up for it, it would probably be pretty good, I think. So
Maybe I know this is different, but have any of you guys checked out like the Amazon games, Luna games? I just checked.
Yeah,
it's kind of impressive. I just booted up Devil May Cry 4. It obviously doesn't look, or sorry, Devil May Cry 5. And it actually is not bad.
Game streaming is getting better, I will say that. And what's strange to me is Microsoft's actually behind Amazon and Google when it comes to the quality of the stream, but they actually have like the content because of Game Pass. And I think that's what's really holding them up right now. They need to get on this, like they need to get 4K out. They got to get HDR out. These are all things that Stadia already has. So like they need to figure that out soon. Because Stadia, just no one wants to play it. Like I think the concurrent player count for Destiny was the highest they've had, and it was like 5,000 people. It's like, that's it. So Stadia, I think, has the best quality, but they just don't have the marketing or the platform right now, unfortunately for them. So, but I would buy one of these Microsoft sticks, and I'd be curious if they would count that as hardware sales.
I would.
Would you call that? Because Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S. What if they call this an Xbox Series and they use a different letter?
A. Like
they might
probably
they
like
might
an
do
M,
something
like M
that.
or something.
Dude, they might do that. Maybe it's an Xbox. Well, hold on. What did they have? They've had the Xbox 360, the Xbox S, the Xbox Slim, right? Xbox Slim. Then they had the E model, right? That was the last one. You got that one, Sean, right?
Yes.
Nope, they can't do that. They can't call it the E.
Call it the A.
The A. Okay. Yeah, like that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm like, they can call it that, lump it in with Xbox or the Xbox stick even. Someone just mentioned that in the chat. And all of a sudden they're like, yeah, that's right. We sold 40 million Xbox Series systems last year. And it's these little sticks they're shipping out.
I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't though. You're selling hardware and people are playing your games.
And it does attach people to that Game Pass because it would come with a 3-month. It has to come with a Game Pass subscription because they would count it as a new sign up for Game Pass, which is the biggest thing they need apparently for their back end when it comes to. I believe it was like benefits and stuff tied to it, but like you're automatically an account then when you boot it up. So they could go from 25 million Game Pass subscribers to like 50 million in a year, like out of nowhere. So I think this makes all the sense in the world for their direction. Will it work? We'll see. They need to make sure the streaming can handle all that.
Yeah, that's the main thing because, xCloud, it's there. It's not great.
It's one of those things you use either just to see how it works or just if you have no other option. And even then you're like, let me check out these phone games. Because it's like the touch controls, good idea. It still just doesn't work that well. So I played Dragon Quest on it, 11S, and like that's probably the farthest I would take those touch controls because obviously it's a turn-based RPG.
Yeah, like slower games, you can get away with it.
I'm not playing a fighting game on that.
No,
I'm not playing any kind of racing game.
Remember, I played Halo that one night.
You tried.
I tried.
You did. You really did. I'll give you that. You gave it a shot, and all that was because you wouldn't go downstairs.
No, it's because the Knicks were on. And I was watching the game on my TV.
That was upstairs. No, it was that. Oh no, it was on the same. Okay, no, it was on the TV. I got you.
Yeah.
So instead of streaming the game on your computer next to you, you decided to play an interactive game and jump in on your computer.
Yeah.
Okay. I will say.
Normal?
Why did you should just stream the Knicks on your computer because you can do that through Comcast.
Man, what was more important though?
The Halo game.
Was it?
I mean, are you guys playing it right now? How important?
We're playing Dr. Mario. It's very important.
You're playing Dr. Mario.
I got tired of losing, and Nate's not good at Dr. Mario. So
no, because I'm colorblind. I can't tell what's what.
Oh man, Sean set him up and everything. Oh man, Sean got tired of losing. He was like, "Which game needs color?
What weapon can I use against
Nate?"
They need some accessibility with that.
Sean
man.
really is the one who would message me and be like, "Yo, get on Halo. It's daytime. No one's on, and it's all kids playing."
So he's beating up this colorblind person in a game relying on color.
I'm the type of person that would go to like the Paralympics and be like, all right, guys, it's on. Like, all right, guys, I'm gonna win now. You know,
I forgot that you were colorblind.
I'm trying to match these green, yellow, and red things. I can't tell what's what.
You're doing good. You won one round.
and you suck.
No, I was reading the chat.
Trash, bro. Dude, like, how can you lose to somebody that can't tell the colors? They all look the same.
Look, talk to God, not me.
Let me boot up Pokemon Legends Arceus real quick. Hold up.
Evan, we have Discord questions over there.
Where would you place Elden Ring between Sekiro and Dark Souls for gameplay?
I still really like Sekiro. Sekiro's very, very good in this gameplay. Like for like the actual combat. I think it's above Dark Souls. I still like Sekiro the most. Though,
I think it's more for game.
Action.
I think it's more for game feel. Like how I guess difficulty levels are just kind of, because Sekiro did feel almost a little more actiony. Because Dark Souls you do get kind of upgrades, but Sekiro you actually get like weapons and tools and stuff.
Elden Ring was the easiest Souls game I've played. I would say that it feels the easiest, and I don't necessarily think that's because of the gameplay itself or the combat or any of that. I think it's just or upgrades. Even I mean, kind of, but like it's just because the open world you could just power level basically. I still think I like Sekiro more.
Sekiro's combat feels more responsive. That's just my own.
Yeah,
it just feels like when you press the button, it does what you want it to do, and when you dodge, it just feels more responsive. That from my experience, but
I like Sekiro a lot. Sekiro is very good. So. Elden Ring just has that world. Like if Sekiro was in that world, I mean that'd be ridiculous. Maybe they do it. I don't know. Yeah, another one, Evan.
Do y'all know any reliable small video game shops to buy from, especially if they're in Orlando, Florida?
Oh, that seems like a question for Click.
Yeah,
very specific.
Reliable in Florida.
Well, what phone app I think do you want to plug, Sean, that you've been buying?
Oh.
If you are in the market for video games, toys, sneakers, collectible cards, pops, anything like that, there's this website called Whatnot.
You should probably drop your link in the chat.
Hold on, I actually have a link.
Oh, we can all drop
links.
links.
We want your link. I just dropped the link in the chat. Use that link to sign up. You'll get $10 for free, and you could bid on like it's live auctions. But I've won so much cool stuff on there. I just recently won all the Ghostbusters re-release figures from the real Ghostbusters cartoon, and I won the Ghost Popper as well.
You said they do something like walkarounds of shops too, so I mean it's kind of like you're going to a shop.
Some places will do like walkarounds where they're just like, okay, here's our inventory, and they'll kind of do system by system if you're looking for something specific. Because I usually go in there. The only thing I buy right now is box consoles, and the only reason I buy box consoles is because I keep making money on that site, because if somebody uses my link, they get $10. If they spend that $10, the website kicks back to me $10. So like I've bought a bunch of cool stuff on there, and I'm gonna do videos on it all. You can see some of it back there. There's like a box Saturn, a box Game Boy Pocket. I've got something really, really cool that I'm probably gonna do tomorrow. But yeah, it's a super good website, and like I've had zero issues with it.
Yeah, use Sean's link. He dropped it in the chat.
I'll put it one more time just in case.
There you go. Go use it. This is from Cristobal saying IGN had their best open world GOAT list. I haven't played Elden Ring yet. My top 3 are Breath of the Wild, GTA 5, and Ghost of Tsushima. What's your guys' top 3?
Trying to robot out for me a little there.
Yeah,
your connection's freaking out.
Top open world games.
Simpsons Hit and Run.
Well, we got 3. Top 3. What are your top 3 open world games?
Simpsons Hit and Run.
Uh-huh.
I like True Crime Streets of LA. And then
this is a weird list.
What? And then Grand Theft Auto 4.
Skies of Arcadia isn't open world, is it?
They listed. I mean, they listed Breath of the Wild, GTA 5, and Elden Ring, and we're talking about true crime Streets of El.
I mean, it's open world. It's a city.
It's good.
He's preferring
easy, Cabron. I've got the green card.
He's preferring the city approaches personally.
Breath of the Wild, Elden Ring. Yeah, those are the top two right now for me. A third one, I really did like Ghost of Tsushima's open world though. That was pretty good.
Red Dead's a good open world too because it's very interactive.
Red Dead 2, yeah, definitely. I still got Breath of the Wild and Elden Ring at the top of my list right now.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild for me would be. I know I've played a lot of open world games. I just don't really think about it that way, you know. They
all kind of blend together now. Like I've played Far Cry many times, and they're all open world, and to be honest, they all kind of feel the same now that I'm looking back on it. It's
the Far Cry games are very formulatic.
Yeah. So
English.
maybe that's why Breath of the Wild and Elden Ring stick out so much because they're very different. So
English actually is a hard language, though.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Probably one of my up there ones would be Shadow of the Colossus, just because the size of the things you had to fight in it made the world a lot more important.
Yeah, and it was on the PS2. That is that sense of like, wow, they got a lot of this hardware. But that was a very impressive.
Wind Waker isn't a real open world. All the games that I like are like not actually like real open
world.
Like, Arcadia, not a real open world, but it's like seems that way. Wind Waker, you know.
Final Fantasy VII kind of has that open world moment in it, you know, where you're like rolling around the airship and all that.
But it's like not.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but yeah, all the games that people say are good open worlds usually. Like Deus Ex is an open world game.
Fallout 3, I loved Fallout 3.
Oh yeah, the Fallout. Oh yeah, Skyrim.
You could say Skyrim and Oblivion.
Fallout 3. Yeah, those are good.
Those are definitely open world games.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they absolutely are.
Whoops. Yeah, those are good. I like Fallout 3. I got all the achievements and everything in that game back in the day.
Michael says, "Salute to my fellow long-suffering Nick fan. When can we realistically expect to see Metroid Prime 4 and Zelda 2 gameplay?" I mean, Zelda has to be E3, I assume. If they don't show it E3, it's probably not coming this year. So that seems like the spot to drop it. Who knows? Man, Metroid Prime 4. Who knows?
That's 2023.
Yeah, it's kind of feeling that way.
I'm still waiting. Some YouTuber told me there was like a demo coming out for that game, but then it never did. I was confused by that.
Who was the YouTuber?
I can't recall.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's slipped my mind.
I think you know who it was.
No, if I did, I'd say it.
For Breath of the Wild?
No, for Prime 4.
Prime 4. Who knows when that's? I don't know. We believe it's on this current Switch. Who knows? Maybe it's not. It's on some other far-off Switch.
Cross-plat.
I kind of, you know what? I thought about it more and more. I kind of would rather Retro make it for the next Switch or something at this point.
Cross-plat. Do it on both.
Yeah. Like if it's got to be 480p or whatever on the current Switch, but then they're like, here's this cool looking 4K version on the. Sure, do a cross-plat, whatever. But I kind of am thinking that way now with Retro. Like, really show what new hardware can do. They can show it. What do you think, Nate? You think it'd be better for Metroid Prime 4 to be on a different piece of hardware from Nintendo?
I mean, that's one of those cases. Don't you kind of feel
like cross-platform?
I mean, if it's that ambitious, then go for it. But
should have never announced that fucking game.
Metroid Prime 1 better be outstanding on the Switch when they announce that.
I will say, if they show it and Metroid Prime 1 looks like ridiculous, I'm like, wow, this. All right, yeah, Retro's back. Then yeah, that's fine, because I feel like that might give us a little bit of a preview as to what we can expect out of Prime 4.
Right.
So we'll see with that. We'll see. Knight says, I'm playing through Dying Light, and I have to say this game is absolutely amazing. Should I play Dying Light 2? Oh, I like Dying Light 1 more than Dying Light 2.
Yeah, that's what I heard a lot of people say.
I want to say yes, because I still liked Dying Light 2, but I will tell you, you might be slightly disappointed going from 1 to 2. But 2 is still fun. So.
Would it have been better just to start with 2 and just avoid 1 so that you don't get that, like, I've already done this disappointment?
2 is weird. It feels like the story is almost like 3 pieces. It's very odd. The whole thing. It kind of seems like somebody wrote some of it and then other people came in and finished the story. I don't know. It's very weird.
Like Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah, kind of. Truly Epic says, sorry for being off topic, but The Boys season 3 though.
Did you see the teaser?
Jordan?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it looks good.
Ain't no euphoria.
A lot of blood. A lot of blood.
It looks really
a lot
good,
of exploding whole bodies.
Yes. And it looks like they got Butcher with the compound V and everything. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Jordan. I'm gonna have to discuss that first episode when it comes back.
Yeah. Film wave.
Still got to get into that, man.
Wait, you didn't watch The Boys yet?
Dude, it's been right there, and
You're gonna watch. You're gonna watch it, and then you're just gonna. It's gonna be the next day, and you'll be like, "What happened?" I watched the entire season.
I really need to stop messing around and watch that.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's gonna be a Cobra Kai moment again.
Is it?
You're gonna watch it and be like,
Cobra Kai or The Boys?
Man, I don't know. I want to say
Cobra Kai easy.
You think so? Really?
Easy.
Yeah, The Boys is great, but Cobra Kai has much more of my interest. I like the campiness of Cobra Kai.
The Boys is really good, though.
I've heard it's so good. You guys have talked about it so much.
It's really good. You should check it out. Watch the first episode and see what you think, because it gets off very quickly. You'll know in 30 minutes.
I'm just being dumb. I know it's good though.
You don't want to do it because everyone's telling you to do it. I'm the same way.
Maybe that's it. I kind of just ran into like Karate Kid and
dude, the guy who plays Homelander though is so good at that role. It's crazy.
Highlander?
Homelander.
What is that?
It's basically Superman but angry.
Yeah, it's one of the most terrifying characters in the show if you really consider his position and like how crazy he is. You should watch the show, Sean. I think you'd like it.
You messed up. You told me to watch it.
Hey, Sean, don't watch it.
All right, I might watch
Play
it.
F-Zero instead.
Where we moved on to Star Fox.
Okay.
We're having an intense dogfight.
I wish I remember the controls.
Georgie says hardest boss in Elden Ring. In my opinion, it's Melania.
Fuck that guy.
Sean, they say Sean's a scrub. Yeah, they're referring to a boss that is very difficult. Yes, very, very difficult. They heal themselves and they hit you. It's not fair. Daniel says, hey guys, a retro game store open by my house. What 5 PS3 games would you recommend me look for? Thanks for all you guys do. Metal Gear Solid 4.
Puppeteer.
That's a good one too. Let's go with PS3 game. Get that. There was a good launch title that I remember. I'm trying to get the name. You mentioned it, OJ, at one point.
Motorstorm.
And I think Motorstorm is one. I love Motorstorm. Folklore. I remember that. That was a weird game though. I think that game's kind of rare now though. It
also depends if you had a 360, because a lot of game, like Metal Gear Solid Revengeance and stuff like that.
And I have to say, if you can find it at a good price, 3D Game Heroes. I really like
3D Game Heroes. Yeah,
it's like
good. Yeah.
And it's so hard to find now. It's so expensive, which is unfortunate because it's such a weird, unique game that Atlas made.
Someone uploading in your house, John? What's happening?
This man out here, John's like out here doing some of this right here. I like it.
You're 20 minutes down the road from me, and I got better connection from OJ right now.
See, they doubted me when they said it was my router for F-Zero.
I don't want to look. I just played a colorblind man in Dr. Mario. I don't have time for excuses. Dub's a dub, baby.
Dub's a dub.
John out here with that auto tune like that, you know what I'm saying? Like all those rat tracks, T-Pain and all that. T-John, let's get it.
Fan says, thanks for another great show, Spawn Crew, and some killer vids this week. RG, any good delivery eats this week, and how's Gma doing?
Gma is good. I saw her last Saturday. I wasn't on the show last week. I didn't feel very well. I was tired for some reason. But yeah, she's good. Yes, actually, there's this Mexican restaurant that I usually get stuff from, and it's usually like to-go stuff. Like pre-done like burritos that are just sitting there waiting. But they recently added tacos in, which I never realized I didn't have, and they're like super good and they're super cheap. So I've been getting those a lot.
Did you ever finish your Taco Bell?
All that? No, dude, I had to throw some of that away. Like I ate a bunch the next day, but then I actually got lucky at KFC. I ordered the spicy chicken sandwich and the just one chicken tender a la carte because I needed to get it to over $12, and they gave me a 3-piece instead of a 1-piece. I was like, yes.
Wow. Okay.
These are the things that make me happy.
That's a thing. A One Piece?
Yeah, it's just the a la carte. You get one chicken tender for like $1.99. So I always look for cheap things to sort of make my meal get to the over $12. So I can get it free delivery.
Those DoorDash hacks.
Yeah.
Okay. RW says, I hope to see consoles on shelves this Xmas, but I don't think we will. Probably why Sony and Xbox are taking their time with these smaller shows.
Yes, Mr. Robot.
You know what? Let's am I still botting out? Hold on.
Try to exit and come back.
Oh, this man,
Yeah, try to exit.
Robot, I spawn wave.
Rob the robot.
I guess I'll just get this one done here while we're waiting. But the last Discord question is, do you think we'll get more HD 2D project games? And I think I'm gonna have to pin the answer because I think this is like the 4th time we've been asked this.
What was the question?
Will we get more
HD
2D HD 2D games?
Oh yeah. I mean, Square even said that they're going to do it.
Yeah.
I saw a robot.
Yes.
Yep.
I'll be back.
I think he's gonna reset the router. So how's the games going, Sean? Nate?
Right now he's up 2-1. I did win the previous match. I would say we're pretty evenly matched at Star Fox.
Are there any other games you would probably pick due to the whole color blindness that might give you the advantage that you enjoy so much in gaming?
No, because I mean there's nothing really. I mean Mario Tennis, no, that's not gonna mess with them. Tetris is square-based anyways.
Well, I guess the newer Mario Tennis, yeah, because the spin on the ball is a different color. So.
Oh, that is a good idea.
Okay. Do I get
It's
now?
not even fair.
No, it's still bad, but what do we got? Let's pile drive through.
This is CGP.
All right,
Any
sounds
thoughts
all right.
on new PlayStation streaming service in the works? What games you think could reasonably come to the service between any and all tiers? If Sony brought over a quarter of the retro library, it could easily surpass Game Pass.
Yes. I mean, I'm hoping for Metal Gear Solid 4. I'll run through that again, especially if they could do some, sort of stuff that it really depends. Because if they're just doing straight up versions of the game, like that's cool. But if they're doing things where it was like, with the Xbox Series X, where it's like increased resolutions, increased frame rates and shit, like that's some next level stuff. So,
I would like to see native PS3 games. We probably won't, which is unfortunate. But that's PS2 and PS1. There's a lot of stuff they can pull from. So, if they can get rights to a lot of it, then yes, it could be a massive library to go to.
It'll be a massive library.
Good. I like to hear that. I do, because if they show up with a big retro library too, and Nintendo might even be like, oh, we could charge more for more games.
It's gonna take time to get there, but they have big intentions.
But if they show up with like a big retro catalog and it's more money than what Nintendo's doing, Nintendo might be like, oh, we could charge $15 a month for a large library. Let's get them all in here.
If they could do that now, that shouldn't be a question for them.
Nintendo might need to see. Nintendo kind of is like, for some of these things, they just follow. And I feel like online is one of those things where they would just follow. So they'll innovate with their games and stuff. But when it comes to like building this infrastructure stuff out for online, it's they'll just see. They'll see what's going on. So this is from Show saying, is the word filming obsolete since nobody uses film? Seems like a Jordan question. He is not here. We'll ask him when he gets back.
It's kind of,
We'll ask Jordan when he gets back in his outro.
I like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Samuel says, whose idea was it to name it Stormvale Castle instead of Yoshi's Grafted World? Simulator says, anyone annoyed about GT7 being an online game on PS5?
Yes, that actually does annoy me because I was in the middle of like doing something and then it just completely kicked me out, and like my internet connection didn't drop, but it completely kicked me out of what I was doing, and I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
It's gonna be more annoying when those contracts come up and they can't even continue it, and then they're like, pull it from the shop and shut the servers down.
If you want to watch the game that could happen to is GT Sport, we just want to pay attention to that because that'll tell us what happens with GT7, because that's online also. So that'll tell us a lot about GT7's future then. Monado Mario says, regarding my question about Advance Wars, this isn't the first time for Advance Wars. First Advance Wars was delayed too due to 9/11 several decades ago.
Wow, was it?
Yeah, it came out in Europe and Japan.
It came out September 10th in the US.
Yep.
And obviously they didn't know what was about to happen, but like Advanced Wars has been unfortunate timing. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense why when you look at the plot for the game that they were like, ooh, let's not a great thing to market over the next month. And this is from Ross saying, my favorite open world is Yakuza 0. No other open world has dancing, bowling, karaoke, RC racing, pool, arcades, and beating people with bicycles. I mean, I can't argue
Not
that.
wrong.
That's pretty good. I can't. Yeah. Rob says the boys should be renamed to the So Wise. There you go.
I mean,
okay.
Yep, sure. He says it.
There's like a space here. It's like so and then wise. Maybe it's
so wise.
Maybe it's ease, like the game.
Squeeze.
Oh. Corey says, hey Sean, love the Kirby video.
Thank you. I make lots of references to his mouth.
That's kind of expected. Okay, yeah. Okay. Alcatraz says with Portal 1 and 2 coming to the Switch, do you think Half-Life 2 and the other episodes they can call it the Half-Life 3-pack? I would love to see Half-Life 2 on the Switch. I think it'd be really cool. Why not? Bring it over.
Yeah, might as well.
Katana says if they get PS2 games running on PS5, Ape Escape. PS2 games can run on the PS5. They have Rogue Galaxy. You can play that right on your PlayStation 5 right now.
And Dark Cloud.
It just comes down to they want to do all of that. I would like to think they would, because they're going to attempt to charge a lot of money technically compared to PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus. Like if they want to go $15 a month, I mean, if you add that up, it's a bit more than what they're charging now. So
no, I mean, the platforms have already been announced. It's PS1, PS2, PSP, and PS3 streaming.
Yeah.
You mean like through like rumors and reports?
Sure. I mean, yes, it's not official, but I mean, PS2 and PSP will be after the service launches. At launch, it will be PS1.
Oh. PS1 and PS3.
I don't know if PS3 is there day one or not.
Wow, they're just going PS1 from the start, huh?
They might have PS3 because it's streaming. They might
Interesting.
have
So I would expect a pretty good like library of PS1 titles then if they're going to hold it up with that right away and nothing else. Huh. Now I'm curious what they're bringing over. Interesting. Okay. That's a good generation. Master says, John, if E3 came to you and gave you rights to E3, what would you do with the company? Would you continue E3 but change something? If the ESA came to me and said I could just have the ESA, that would be
sell that shit. Secure the bag, get the fuck
trying to
out.
dump some debit.
Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, they're all part of the ESA. They just come to me and they're like, you can have this. Okay. I don't know. E3 is I mean, Jeff Keighley didn't even he got away from it, so
I think they still got Hip Hop Gamer as an ambassador.
Hey.
Do you think that Summer Game Fest overtakes E3 in the long run for bigger show over the summer?
No.
What if Summer Game Fest became like an in-person event too? You don't think so?
I mean, how would that work? Currently, it's just an aggregate of already existing events.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, if they turned it into like an E3 event and it was in person and it's like the
you want me to talk to Jeff again and see what he wants to
talk
do?
To him. See what's what.
Actually do it. Actually do it.
See what's what.
I don't give a fuck.
Cyber says, hello everyone. Thoughts on the recent Sly rumors? Sly Cooper.
I saw those and I was like, maybe he'll show up no, he's not showing up at State of Play. Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't gonna happen now. But I mean, there have been a lot of rumors around a Sly Cooper game coming back. I wonder if it
sells though.
That's my question. Would people now remember? Would gamers now react and positively to it? I mean, I'd be like, oh, cool, I'll check it. But newer gamers who, dude, the last Sly Cooper game was on the PS3.
Yeah, but you just have to sell them on it.
But hold up, Sean, real quick. They didn't react that way even to Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank was good. I mean, it sold okay, but it's not, doing crazy. And that got an 89 average. So how do you sell Sly Cooper more than Ratchet and Clank when that's always been more popular?
Let me ask you this, Sean. the Sly Cooper fall in the platforming genre next to Astro. Would you make a new Astro game or make a new Sly Cooper game if you're Sony?
Well, Astro, I mean, we don't have any sales stuff for Astro beyond what VR stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know. It's tough to say. It depends if you want to go at a new IP, but I mean, you could just introduce Sly Cooper as a new IP or a forgotten IP. Like, I don't think it's not salvageable.
I think it adds more variety to Sony's like lineup, and that's why I would do it anyway, because I think that's important.
Yeah, because they seem hell-bent on these epic narrative games.
They don't all have to be that. They can be. You can have those. What do they call them? Double A? I don't know what they call them, but like the lower budget, but
fun.
Yeah, just there to be fun.
Let me ask you guys a question. Like they did that with like Little Big Planet, so maybe they do something around that level, right?
Yeah. Sure, I'd be good. I would still. They can still do like a fully 3D platforming style game. It doesn't have to be this high graphical fidelity thing. They could the cell shading look, and if they want all that, and it can still look good. It just doesn't have to be like this $100 million budget game. It's just I feel like they could do it for much less, and it would still be really cool. So that's me. I would like to see it. I think it'd be fun. But Sean, by the way, Astro has sold almost 20 million copies.
That doesn't shut up. It comes with a fucking system.
Hey, we counted Wii Sports.
Yeah, but that was sold individually in Japan.
We counted Wii Sports because it got bundled with the system.
I will not count it.
I'm just following the rules that are already laid out. Astro is rolling. Gonna be one of the best selling games of the generation. Look out, Mario Kart.
There you go.
Look out. Hey, everybody knows. I mean, a lot of people, I assume, played it because it's like it introduced you to DualSense, so people are at least aware of the character.
Yeah,
that's actually a good question. Should that count as sales?
It's weird to me to count a bundle.
Is it an individually packaged? I guess the thing is, if it's an individually packaged game, you can count it, but Astro is not, right?
Right. Like if I could buy it without buying the system.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can do that with Wii Sports.
So if they come out with Astro's Playroom as like a complete collection or some extra thing, and you can buy it separately, then we come back and we count Astro's Playroom as like no,
it has to be the individual SKU.
But like Wii Sports didn't have an individual SKU till later on in its life.
Wait,
so you're saying
it did? It came in. It came as an actual physical disc for the Wii. Remember, right? Or
it said not for resale on the back. We weren't allowed to take them on trade, or we get in trouble.
What?
It was a big thing.
It's just like it's just like the Sonic games that had that.
It said not for sale on the back. You weren't allowed. We weren't allowed to take them at the time. I remember this was so weird.
Yeah.
We were like, you can give it to us if you want. If you're trading the Wii, no one was trading a Wii in anyway. But it was that was really funny. It says not for resale. And there's nothing to scan. It wasn't in our system, so we couldn't take it as trade in.
Well, what about Tetris on the Game Boy?
What about Tetris?
It was packaged. It was bundled.
But you could buy it separately.
Is that counted? Like, do we count the bundled sales or not?
I don't know. It's tough.
It's tough.
I personally wouldn't just offhand. I mean, it's not like everyone. It's not like anyone, or you don't have to play it by getting it. Like it's not.
I'm asking here before I edit this Wikipedia entry. I'm just checking.
You won't edit it.
You won't.
This is Human says Spawnwave's mic is the reason to say no to all cloud game future. PS been watching since like 2018. Love all you guys' channels. Much love and peace. I hope I botted out while I was reading that.
No, you've been fine.
Of course, that's
your kids stopped downloading their Fortnites.
Foxy says, have any of you watched the Batman, and if so, what do you think? We did. I think Jordan, you answered that last week, or you liked it.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet.
10. Good Batman movie. Rush third act.
I haven't liked it.
Everything else was really good.
I'm probably gonna watch it again this week. Yeah,
it's coming to HBO.
On HBO Max on April 19th.
Oh,
that's what
did you know that I've had HBO Max for like since I moved here and I never realized it?
Oh,
that sounds sounds about right. Yeah,
it's actually pretty good. Like it's
yeah.
I'll be watching it. I'll be watching it on HBO Max then because I do have it HBO Max. So
it was good seeing it once in theaters, but with this new 45-day window for films to go to DVD and streaming, it's
especially when that's 3 hours long. Pause and then just go do something else real quick.
Yeah, it was an experience in theaters for sure if you haven't seen it, but I'll watch it again at home for a second.
It is a really long
2 hours 45 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
It would have benefited from being a little longer. That third act just
Oh
felt
yeah,
too rushed.
definitely.
Yeah.
It's 3 hours and it needed to be
Yes,
the runtime needed to be longer.
100%.
Wow.
Everything takes their time in a very nice way that doesn't feel long. And then the last third act of the film, it like cut so much out and condensed it really fast.
They covered a lot in this one movie of like the whole character arc.
Is it better than Keaton's Batman movies?
Come on, Sean.
I'm asking for an opinion because I haven't seen it yet.
They're completely
trying to start some stuff here.
They're not even. I don't even see how you can even compare these Batman movies.
And Sean, you talk about liking serial killer documentaries, right? Like it's closer to that. That's the kind of Batman you're getting in this one.
Do you like have you seen the movie Zodiac or Seven?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's literally that. It's
with
that.
Batman involved. Yeah.
Interesting.
Let me go over to some of the Streamlabs stuff here as we finish up. Miss Studbuffin says, based on the new demo alone, Stranger of Paradise is reaching Metal Gear Rising levels of memes, and I kind of like to play the rest of this game. I saw some funny cutscenes of like them doing it, like one of the big bosses doing a monologue, and then the main character just stopped them like while they were going through it. So I hope it's like just funny in like a bad way at times. Just
it definitely is. Did you see like the opening when they all meet each other?
Yeah,
it's like completely campy and
I hope it's that the entire way through. I do. I hope that's the case. So I'm looking forward to playing it next week. Ricky says, imagine PSVR 2 launches with a first-person Daredevil game. How do you think they can make that work? That, Daredevil in VR would be very interesting. I would just like a Daredevil game at all. Like I would just like to see someone try it, because we see Wolverine now being done, so someone should grab the Daredevil property and try to make a game out of it. That'd be fun.
Well, there was one in development, wasn't there?
And it got canceled. Yeah, and there was some footage that popped up on YouTube. I think you're right, Sean.
It looked terrible though.
I think it was PS3.
Someone would actually have to like come in with some talent and make it work. They'd have to come up with some unique ideas. But I mean, if it's on the PlayStation, you got the DualSense controller, they could do some stuff with that. So I would like to see it. Just see if they can get creative with it. Ricky says, just finished Returnal. Awesome game. And we'll start Elden Ring today. Which one is harder, and any tips for beginner? Never finished any Dark Souls game. I'd say Elden Ring is harder.
You know what's funny? Oh gosh, that guy, the homie, he came on the channel once on the he writes for the Washington Post. He got COVID.
Gene.
Gene.
Yeah, Gene. Yes, Gene said that he felt that Returnal was harder.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe it might be because in Elden Ring you can power level and then just destroy bosses, whereas Returnal, it legit is just about the run you get and your reaction time. So maybe that's the case. Link says, I refused to buy Mario Kart 8 Deluxe until DLC was announced, a DLC announcement, and a Mario Day sale later. I'm part of that 50% attach rate. Break says, since the eShop for 3DS will be closing next year, what do you guys think it will be worth more in the future? A big physical collection of 3DS games, or a 3DS packed full of digital games, including the ones that have a physical copy as well? The physical collection.
Yeah, because I mean, physical stuff is always going to be that way, because you can always, I mean, yes, the Wii eShop is down. You can't buy Castlevania Rebirth, but if you have a computer, you can still download it and put it on your Wii. Whereas, with that you have a physical good to sell.
Alex has a question here for you, Sean.
Right.
They say, what is your favorite Prince and Michael Jackson song, and which do you think is more talented?
As a singer, I could say Michael Jackson, I think, is a little more talented. As an artist, it's Prince by far. I mean, the man plays guitar, bass, drums, or played, I should say. I'll have to give the nod to Prince. My favorite Prince song is I Would Die For You. I love that song. I could listen to it over and over again. And Michael Jackson, I'll say Beat It, just because of the, it's an iconic song, and the Eddie Van Halen solo, and it is awesome in it. Eddie Van Halen and Michael Jackson, two of the biggest acts of the 80s, doing something together. It's crazy.
Damn, I thought you were going to say Party Man.
The Batman soundtrack is one of the best movie soundtracks of all time. Like, even if you don't like the movie, like, some of those songs are incredible. He made that album in 6 weeks.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Because they originally wanted Michael Jackson to do the Batman soundtrack for the first film in '89, and he was tied up doing something else. And then they came to Prince, and Prince was like, I'll do it in 6 weeks. And then he did it in 6 weeks.
They're both great entertainers, man. Michael Jackson, I think the thing that sticks out to me the most with him was like how he like revolutionized like the music video. Before then, they were just kind of just all singing and like it would just be like you just like watch them like right there. But he actually made music videos like incredible. You know, like Thriller was like an event. Whenever you like it would come on at certain times, like on the weekends, and you'd watch Thriller and you'd be like, oh my gosh, this is like the greatest thing ever. So,
all right, let me go around.
We're not done yet. I think Prince was a more diverse musical act too, because like he had like really like hard rock songs, and then he had like R&B songs, and then he had pop songs. And Michael Jackson had that to an extent, but I feel like Prince was always sort of reinvigorating himself with that.
Okay. I saw the super chats there and Streamlabs. Let me go around here. Let's start with Sean. Where can everyone find you?
You can find me on RGT85 on all forms of the internet. And you can also find me on Whatnot. Let me put my Whatnot link right in the chat so you can sign up for it and have some fun and buy some stuff and look around. It really is a good site. Like, it's been very good to me. And the more people that sign up and use their $10, the more cool shit I could buy on the channel, for the channel. I don't know what's up to tomorrow's video because I realized today it was daylight savings, and I hate daylight savings with every fiber of my being. So I don't know. But I do want to say I don't think I'm going to be on the show next week. I have family coming into town, so I just wanted to give a heads up. But thank you for having me on, as always.
Let's go over to OJ. Where can everyone find you?
Yeah, you can find me right here on YouTube, Player Essence, also on Twitter, Player Essence, Twitch, Player Essence, a live stream pretty much daily. We're going to have a stream tomorrow, I think, so that'll be 7 days, I think, out of the week. But anyway, I do daily live streams, and I cover Nintendo and RPG content. Just put out a cool video on Triangle Strategy. I'm like addicted to this game. I got almost 50 hours in already now, which is a lot for me considering the game didn't come out too long ago. And I've got another video planned for this upcoming week that should be pretty fun, looking at some other RPGs, some old school RPGs that could come to the Switch. So if you're into that type of content, check out the channel. And of course, the Spawncast pre-show is every single week on Saturdays around 6 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So yeah, thanks for having me on.
Awesome. Jordan, where can I find you?
You can find me at the YouTube channel, Jordan Fringe. Still doing, more content, nostalgic cartoons I grew up with, stuff like that. So if you're interested, check it out.
And let's go over here to Nate.
Yes, you can find me on YouTube at Nate the Hate. I'm sure NVG and I will have an episode this coming week before he leaves for GDC.
Oh, yeah. Wait, hold on. When is?
I'm glad he's look. I'm gonna say I'm glad he's going to GDC and that's getting over with because I'm tired of fucking seeing that on his Twitter handle name. Oh, I'm going to GDC. You've been going to GDC for like 3 fucking months now. Get on with it. You're supposed to do that like the week before you go to something.
But when he's at GDC, he's gonna change it to at GDC.
Why are you so mad, bruh?
It's shit like that bothers me. I don't know why.
That's next weekend, GDC.
I think it starts next weekend, yeah. And then he said he was going to be flying back, so he's not going to be on next weekend as well.
Okay. I'll just be curious to see his take. I guess the following podcast we'll hear from him about his adventures at GDC. See what kind of backroom deals happen there. Okay. What about Evan?
Find me on Twitter, Kimrex Project. Changing up my stream schedule this week, but I'll be letting people know when I'm going live on Twitter, mostly for art stuff this week, except for Friday night, which is always going to be gaming. So that should be fun.
Nate, that's right. Nate, into your podcast last week. So you got some Switch stuff to talk about coming up then.
That episode will come at a future time.
Oh.
Been doing a lot of research on the topic, and it's not at the point where I feel ready to record an episode on it yet.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. It's daylight savings time in the US, so everyone we're all jumping ahead an hour.
About to lose an hour. Let's go.
Yeah, that's why we had to wrap up a little earlier tonight. But we'll be back next. That also means that any videos you probably see from most of us, they'll end up going up like maybe an hour earlier than usual or something. So it might be a little weird.
Mine's going up an hour later. I still got to work on it.
Yeah, it might be. Well, I mean, you might be right on time, basically. So. But thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll be back next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time.
I didn't have any.